All right, everybody, welcome to NorCal Sports Network. And this is the same hat that Brock Purdy's dad wears. Chat loves it when Marty Lurie comes on.
Anytime you lose a game this time of year, when you can't go backwards, it's a problem.
All right, everybody, welcome on in to NorCal Sports Network. Dan Coachimillo along with Dallas Helliker here. Your home for Giants baseball, past, present, and truth. I've been following the Giants since 1968. That's right, long before the championships, long before the wild card, and long before all the hot takes, right? If you're looking for honest Giants talk with no spin, no casual network, no homer network, right here, NorCal Sports Network. All right, welcome in, Dallas. How you doing?
Howdy, doing good. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you too as well. The first, I think, live stream of 2026.
That's
we
right.
Welcome everybody in to the show. Good to see everybody. I've been listening to a lot of shows, Dallas, a lot of Giants talk. And one thing that I've learned over the years covering this team is if something suddenly becomes a popular talking point, chances are it was being discussed quietly before it went mainstream. At NorCal Sports Network, we don't follow talking points. We follow logic, history, and truth. And if that makes us part of the conversations others are having later, that's fine. We love to be their material. This just means the discussion is finally catching up. So we welcome everybody else. Just check out NorCal Sports Network for your news. I heard article Susan Slusser had written about something about, the spending. Is it Greg Johnson?
Yeah.
And I wonder, didn't we do a show on that a few weeks back?
Yeah, we sure did. We beat it into the ground about about Greg not wanting to spend money on players. But I do see in the chat that a lot of people.
And I'm hearing Pick a Lane all over the place now.
Yeah, Pick a Lane. That's a big one.
Yeah.
But I do see people in the chat, they're always critical of Susan Slusser, but she has been as critical as I've ever heard her of this, of the Giants front office, in this last article she wrote, and then this the Splash Hit podcast with FP Santangelo.
Yeah.
I mean, she's saying, what's going on here? Are you not, it's crickets, and she doesn't understand why there hasn't been a bigger signing on the pitching front. And, it's still early. A lot of free agents are still available. It seems like to me that a lot of owners or GMs in general are kind of banded together and have said, hey, you know what? This is another one of those years where we're not going to let Scott Boras push us around. We're going to wait and, get a more reasonable deal, which is what the Giants did 2 years ago with Blake Snell. They waited and waited and waited and then signed him to a much more reasonable deal, although not that reasonable since we're still paying for it. But, he didn't get the 7-year contract. He got a 2-year deal with an opt-out or whatever it happened to be. So, it might be that Kyle Tucker doesn't get a 7-year contract. He gets a 4-year contract with an opt-out or something like that. It might be, same thing with Bichette and with Bellinger and the top pitchers that we have out there. They might not be getting the 7-8 year deal that they want, $200 million. It might be, something a little more shorter term. And, that's a possibility. So, you can't write off the Giants yet, I don't think, because the postseason is not over, but it is getting later. And if you judge them just based on the signing of the pitching staff, we went into this season with a lot of question marks, and now they've added a couple more question marks onto the end of the sentence. It's like, they didn't sign anybody that they signed people with a lot of upside potential, but you didn't sign anybody that's guaranteed to lock down a spot in that rotation and be able to pitch late into the year and into the postseason. That's very questionable. So, they didn't add that rock solid piece that you could just tack on to the in the middle of that rotation with Logan Webb and Robbie Ray. They didn't do that. They added some guys that could potentially be very good pitchers, the number 3 starters, if they're healthy and if they, have the kind of year they're capable of having. But it's not a done deal. So, you sign enough question marks, and one of them probably will hit, and one of them might have some problems, which opens the door to, your Blake Tidwells and your other, people in the rotation. But, if you grade them right now, I grade them pretty poorly as far as this off season so far.
I can make a C minus, but I can't make can I give them an F? Let's see if I can. No, I
want to give them an F.
No, I think I got them about a C minus right now.
Yeah, I have them as C minus now. Now, if they go and sign Cody Bellinger, what does that up their grade to?
Oh, that would be a B plus.
Yep, I agree. So there's still room, and there's still money available to stay under the CBT and get that deal done.
Yeah.
So it could be happening. It could just be negotiation, trying to get a good deal, trying not to get raked over the coals. And so we just have to kind of wait and see. But as of right now, like everybody else, underwhelmed.
Yeah, my plan has been talking about it on some of the videos. Go trade Landon Roop and maybe a Johnny Level, and go get Freddie Peralta try and re-sign him and replace Robbie Ray when he leaves after the year, and make Freddie Peralta.
Completely agree. You have 20. What does Robbie Ray make? $27 million?
25
or 25. Well, you got that coming off the books next year. So whatever you spend is only for this year. You're paying both of them this year. Next year, it's like you're getting them for free.
Right.
That's the same money. You don't have to worry about that.
He's a better pitcher than Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray was great the first half, made the All-Star team, was horrible the second half. His ERA was over 5. He was tired. See, we don't even know if you have a second, a true number 2 coming back. We don't know.
Right. That's why it made so much more sense to me to sign a number 2 starter, a number 1 or a number 2 starter right now. Then you have Ray, this ace, and Webb for this whole a year. You got 3 top guys in your rotation for a whole year, and then you have 2 going forward, and you can fill in and replace from there.
I need your hat on, Dallas. I feel like I'm at a business meeting right now. I feel like I'm late. What do we got? We got the same one. Okay. Hey, I've already haven't cranked this one out yet, but we'll do. But
put that G spot on.
Right, hit right there. Hit the G spot right there. There we go.
Right there.
Right,
yep.
Right. I think
that's the spot.
Right there. All right, guys. Seniors watching the Sharks. How ironic, he says, as he watches NorCal Sports Network. One team did it the right way and the other did not. Talking about the Sharks doing a rebuild, the Giants just trying to hit the, going half measures. And Robert joins us. He says, where's Lou been lately, Dan? Well, Lou, he's not with us. He didn't leave us. We just let him test the market, and someone else overpaid. It happens. So no, we he wanted a long-term deal, and we were just kind of like, we're going to go in a different direction.
You're sounding a little like Greg Johnson, Dan.
Yeah, this is like Giants, right? It's Giants talk here on NorCal Sports Network. We we gave him the Pete Alonso treatment. We did not negotiate. And
I thought it was something like with Otani, where we matched the offer, and then but he went with the other team.
No. Yeah, it's kind of the opposite of what KD did, I guess. So anyway, it is what it is, but
Well, hopefully it's not. Hopefully we can get Lou back here at some point. I'm
I'm
talking
sure,
to the guy, but I do
I'm
get his
sure
takes over on.
I'm sure we'll do some stuff. He's over at GS. Is it GS Giants? Yeah,
Giants
GSTL.
Sports Talk Live. Yeah,
I always go GTSL, but it's GSTL. Yeah.
GTFO.
Mark Graves says Lou didn't pass his physical. Yeah.
Come on, Mark.
Oh boy. That's too funny.
There's physicals here, we'd all be in trouble.
Yeah, I certainly would. I'm going in next week for my second hip replacement. So I definitely, between my hip and my herniated disc last year, this will be my third surgery in about.
Again, it's just like the
months.
Giants. You sign injured players and hope for the best.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Exactly. JP says, "Clip it." Okay. This is too much. Yeah. So, guys, tonight we're just gonna yak it up for a while. We're talking about what are the Giants really heading right now, and you heard Dallas. He thinks it's going to be. They're going to maybe add. I mean, it makes sense, but if you listen to everybody, you listen to what the Giants are telling you, they pretty much think their rotation is done. You're listening to Zach Maniason. He comes out and says they're pretty content with what they've got.
I think the rotation is done. I'm just hoping they're not completely done.
I mean, hey, look, if this team goes at it as is, I said it yesterday, could the Giants somehow sneak into a third wild card team as the team is currently constructed? Anything's possible. There's a lot of other crappy teams that are going to be fighting for the third wild card. Okay.
Also, everything has to go right for that to happen.
Yeah.
You can't have a pitching injury. You can't have a major injury on it would have to be one of those magical seasons where everything goes right and the ball always lands right on the white line and it's a base hit. And it's those happen occasionally, in a way.
Mean, this is a 500 team at best right now. Should it be better than last year? Well, you got Devers for the full year. You're going to have Eldridge. You've got more of a complete rotation with veterans. Roop would be the youngest guy. I mean, but you're taking a risk on Hauser and Malley. They're both can be effective, but they are injury prone. If Malley stays healthy, I like him.
Yeah, I mean, your rotation at the end of last year was really, really had a lot of holes in it. So you've added some more pieces, not necessarily known quantities. You don't know what you're going to get, but you have the potential to get good. So, I mean, I think the rotation is moderately improved, but the rest of the team is the same. Now, you do think you'll see an improvement. You'll have Devers a whole year. Eldridge is a big question mark. Who knows if he's even going to make the big league roster? We don't know. So that's just a coin toss, really. If that, maybe less than a coin toss. You assume Chapman is going to have a Chapman-like year. Hopefully he's more consistent at least so that you don't have these long droughts and then a couple of weeks where he's hot. You assume Adames probably gets off to a little bit of a hotter start this year. I mean, he's a slow starter, but he really took his time getting it going last year on the new team, and you think he's going to hit the ground running next year. I'm using the word hope a lot. You hope Jung-Hoo Lee has a bounce-back season and, is kind of moving back in the right trajectory from, his first year to getting hurt to kind of building back up. That's a hope word, You don't know what's going to happen there. And then
did
the rest of the
hear-
team is the same.
I did hear that they are over in Korea, the whole, and they're actually trying to. They're meeting with Jung Hoo, and they've actually changed his name. He's still JHL, but he's no longer Jung Hoo Lee. He's actually Jung Hope Lee. That is JHL's new name, and the Giants have officially are over in Korea. Larry Bear came along because he's a marketing genius, and
He did.
yeah, Larry
Was that a
Bear is
joke?
no Larry Bear is over there, and I'm hearing that they want the name changed, no longer Jung Hoo Lee. It is Jung Hope Lee. Jung Hope Lee. Jung Hope Lee is going to be. Why does that thing keep going off? Timer is off. I want that. I can't stand StreamYard giving me a 10-second timer.
It's not
There
even
we
10
go.
seconds now. It's 1 second.
No, it's still giving me 10-second. I want the timer off. All right, let's show it for 60. Now I don't understand this. This is ridiculous. All right.
Anyway, hopefully they went over there to make sure that he's practicing so that he'll be able to hit the ground running this next season.
Yeah, I am going to start. I think we've created a new name for Jung Hoo Lee. Jung Hope Lee with the San Francisco Giants. Jung Hopelessly. Look at that. Hopelessly.
Hopefully it's not Jung Hopeless.
Jung Hopeless. There we go. Jung Hopeless. Hey, we could create new names for everybody.
No, we got to have some hope. But I'm hoping that he's playing right field, and there's a center fielder coming.
All right, you heard it right here again. NorCal Sports Network with another first. Jung Hope Lee. That is his name. No longer. Let's sell some Jung Hope Lee shirts, T-shirts. No more Jung Hoo Lee. Jung Hoo Lee, not very good. We need hope. Jung.
All right, hold on.
Hope
Let me
Lee.
check the news here real fast. See if anything popped up. Nope, nothing going on.
Jung Hope Lee. Yeah, there we go. Nothing happening. But yeah, the whole Giants. Posey. No, was it? Yeah, Posey is over there. Larry Bear. I think Zach Maniason and Tony Vitello. I mean, what are we? Are they trying to make inroads into Korea like the Dodgers have made into Japan? Have the Giants just said, okay, we're giving up on trying to reach Japan and we're just going to own Korea? That would be Giant-like. Let's go for the stepsister. Let's go for the not ready for prime time Korean players instead of the Japanese players who are actually ready to play in the majors. What are we doing? I don't get it. Just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. You don't sign Willie Adames and Chapman and Devers and have these guys. You're paying them millions of dollars. You add it up, how many millions of dollars is all that? And Jung Hoo Lee. Those four guys, it's a lot of money you're paying to have, to pay all that money and then on paper have your team be slated to be 500 out of the playoffs for the 9th out of 10th year.
Yeah. Let's
no,
talk.
You can't. You need another piece. It's got to happen.
Let's talk about this. Insane Sports Take says we pay $19 million a year for a player to make our team worse, and yet buy his jersey and chant his name. Laughing my ass off. We are jokes, guys. This is why ownership thinks they can get away with this BS. Hey, Insane, this is my opportunity to take a little bit of a dig at all the people that go out to the ballpark on a regular basis. You know, look, hey, I'll call out people, look, I listen to Glenn sometimes, is on Giant Sports Talk Live, him moan and complain about how awful the Giants are. But I'll say this, Glenn, if you're doing that and you're complaining about the team and showing up and paying the ticket prices, whether it's $5 to get in or $10, whatever the special is, and you're sitting up there on your third deck, you're becoming part of the problem, because it's okay to go to a few games, but if you keep showing up night after night, and everybody keeps showing up night after night just to watch a team that is a 500 team, and you're going to complain about the team, I don't think you really should complain if you keep showing up and paying them money, because that's what they want. That's what Giants ownership wants. If everybody keeps showing up, then why are we like, look, I was a former season ticket holder. I did not renew after the 22 season. I didn't like the direction. I told Larry Bear right to his face, right in the press box, Scottsdale. I said, hey, I'm not renewing. He said, oh, come on, we need you. I said, well, I need to see something from you guys too. I need to see you guys commit to putting a winning team on the field, not just, a bunch of average players. You're the fifth largest market. Spend money. And so, I'll go to some Giants games. Sure. I mean, I went to a couple last year. I was up in the Bay Area for a game, and, I'm down in Arizona, so I don't go all the time, but I go on the road. I went to Arizona a game, and I went to a game in San Diego. But I'm not going to show up. If I lived in the Bay Area, unless you're going to give me free tickets, I'm not showing up night after night to support a franchise that doesn't care about the fan.
There's enough casual fans, though, that I don't think that's the big thing. You make a statement not renewing your season tickets, and enough people do that. That's definitely a thing. But if the team is winning,
season, going into the 23 season, I didn't renew for 23 and beyond.
If the team is going good, then it generates hype and word of mouth, and then people want to go to the game, and it builds, the momentum builds. And we kind of saw that this last year a little bit. They had some streaks where they were a pretty hot team, and they sold tickets last year. It was an substantial increase over the previous year. So you want to have that the chatter, the talk. You want it to kind of be an event, a hot ticket, and winning certainly contributes to that. It has to. And over time, if they're bad enough for long enough, it's going to keep going down. It has to. So there's a lot of factors to it, but the bottom line is, if you put a winning product on the field, you're going to sell tickets. And, we've seen it before. They sold out that place every year for 5 years. They made a killing, and I'm sure that the ownership group, many of them are still on the board from those days. They know what it is. So I don't understand the hesitation to spend at least up to the luxury tax. I mean, you shouldn't even be afraid to go over it given the right situation.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Hey, let's get to this super chat. The Recovery 716 says, hey guys, to be honest, I like what the Giants are doing so far. The back end of our rotation wasn't good last year with Tang and Bivens. Go Giants. Well, I hear you. I appreciate the super chat. It is a little better than last year. I mean, last year it started out as Webb, Ray, Verlander, Roop, and what was it? Harrison for a while, and then Birdsong for a while, and Yeah, they just didn't have fifth guy. I mean, I think they're a little better shape right now. It's not, I'd feel a lot better like with Dallas if they got a true number two guy, someone that would complement Webb a little bit more. And, they have the money for it. But, that's why I think a perfect trade would be a Landon Roop for and a Johnny Level for Freddie Peralta. He's a 1-year deal, $8 million. Now you can afford to still go out and get a good solid outfielder. You're about 206 right now. The CBT.
Yeah, don't forget about Hicks, Dan.
Oh, that's right. We had Hicks in the rotation. Yeah, he was just a waste. Said it from the beginning. Never liked him as a starter. Yeah. Insane says, look, I live in LA. I try to go to a game every year, whether it's in San Francisco, LA, or San Diego. But this year, I doubt I even want to try because this franchise is so pathetic. Yeah, I hear you. It's hard to support it. It really is. Somebody says to me, Dan, then why wear the hat? I think it was a turkey. Some turkey said this to me. Where is that?
Because
guy?
he doesn't have any hair. He has to wear the hat.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have any hair. I got to wear a hat. You want me to put an A's hat on or a Dodgers hat? I can't do that. Where is the turkey that said that to me? Come on. Where did it go? I don't know where it went. Somebody said it. I think it was a turkey. Guy named Turkey or something like that. Oh, well. Anyway.
Well, I still need to hold out hope. I think they screwed up. They signed two guys that are injury-prone question marks. One of those guys is fine. You could take a gamble on somebody. But they needed to sign somebody consistent, and that didn't happen. So now, if they do sign another pitcher, which they're not going to do, then that would force Roop out of the rotation. And he's like a guy that is a potential, good middle of the order starter that, has, from the organization, brought up through the ranks of the minor leagues. And it took him a long time to get here. So you'd like to see him have a chance to succeed. If they add another pitcher, then he's going to be relegated to the bullpen or something else, so they really didn't need these two guys. Now, obviously you can never have enough pitching. That's the old adage. So fine. The more pitching, the better. But, I don't know. I would have liked one of these signings to have been somebody with a little bit more, robust, reputation.
Thanks,
and,
Mark.
More of a sure thing.
See, I told you it was a turkey. Look, there's a picture. It's a large turkey, too. It says I shouldn't wear the hat. Well, I could take it off and I could blind everybody. Yeah, how's that?
Oh, don't do that.
I mean, I could put the G-spot hat on. I mean, we can make the G sound be for anything. It could be for George. George said he likes this trade that I mentioned. So we'll just go with this being from George. This is George's hat. I could be, what else could it be? G for gangster, someone says. Gangster? Yeah, we've already had that one, right? Hit the spot right there. We've had that one. We've had, hey, I don't know. Somebody says Glenn. No, it's not for Glenn. But Glenn's a good guy. Glenn's a good guy. He's a showman. All right, he's a showman.
He's very entertaining.
Yeah,
you can get that guy going, and man, there's very few people that can turn it on like him as far as outrage or anything else.
Yeah, G isn't for genius. That's for sure. Not with me wearing it. It's not for genius when I put it on. That is for darn sure. Goofball, yeah, maybe. I like that. Glorious. There we go.
Glorious.
Maybe the San Francisco Glorious, and my how they glorious. This team. Look, let's take a look at this team. Let's go through it, and let's just base it on where they're at. Okay, I don't know who's going to lead off. Let's assume it's Jung Hope Lee. Okay, Jung Hope Lee, not Jung Hoo Lee, but Jung Hope Lee. He becomes the leadoff guy. Just for the heck of it, let's just throw in Matt Chapman batting second, just to screw things up, because there's no place for him that's good in the order besides 7th or 8th, but they don't have anybody in this lineup. So we'll put him second. We'll put Devers third. We'll put Adames fourth. 5th, let's go with
who was third?
Ramos?
You had
Did
Lee, Chapman.
We'll put Ramos 5th in left field.
Who'd you have third? Sorry, I missed it.
Devers.
Okay, Devers.
And
then fourth.
Fourth was Adames.
You can put up. I put it here on the screen here.
5th, let's just go with Elliot Ramos. He's an RBI guy. You could put Ramos second. Okay, 6th. Oh gosh, what do they got? You've got right field, you got second base, 6, and you got catcher.
You got Eldridge.
And you got DH. Okay. You know what? Let's do this righty lefty thing. Let's put Eldridge 5th and Ramos 6th. All right. Mm-hmm. Bailey's getting a little better with the bat. Let's put him 7th. Let's put Schmidt 8th and Gilbert 9th. That doesn't strike too much fear. That's a lot of strikeouts. Did you guys see my strikeout deal video, guys? Let me show you if I still have it in here. I think I have the Giants K rates. Do I have them in here? I hope I didn't erase it. That was a keeper. I hope I kept it. Let me see. Oh, maybe I did. There it is, guys. Look at that. Career K rates of this. Hey, look at that. Split right down the middle, Dallas. Look. We're right in the middle. Three Rivers Stadium. Jung-Hoo Lee, only a 10.8% career strikeout rate. Drew Gilbert, in limited, very limited, 18%. Luis Matos, 14.1. Casey Schmidt, 23.4. Devers, 21.9. But look what he did with San Francisco last year. Now we'll look to see if he can get closer to that 22%. Where, if not, if he's hanging up in the above 26, 27, 28 range, that tells me
he's had a long career. You think that will likely return to the norm, I would imagine.
Well, it should for the next year or two, but eventually it'll get worse because of his age, as you lose it. But
sure.
Ramos, 24.6, Chapman, 26.4, Bailey, 26.5, Adames and Eldridge. We got Eldridge on there twice. Sorry. I kept trying to get it off. I couldn't get it to do it, but 27%. Look at that. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of your 9 guys in your lineup, assuming Eldridge is in the lineup, that strike out over 23% of the time. That's pathetic, guys. No wonder this team has a problem scoring runs. Okay. Uh, so let me let me show you what guys I think the Giants should be targeting either through free agency or trade. Take a look at these guys. All right. So are we anywhere? Are we just gone? Yeah, I think we're gone. We're just off the screen, guys. This is better looking anyway. So, uh, uh, yes, no way exactly he should be on the team. Exactly. All right. So, Nico Horner, this is last year's K rates, guys. 7.6%. Stephen Kwan, Horner, Kwan, Donovan, all could be guys, and Xavier Edwards could all be traded for. Now, Horner, Donovan, and Edwards, you would only want one of the three. Okay, you wouldn't want two of the three because there's no positions for two of them. There's position for one. And then the same with Bichette. So you need one of Horner, Donovan, Edwards, or Bichette. You need one of those. And then you need one of Quan, Bellinger, and Tucker. And if you did that, now your team is competing for not just a playoff berth. And if you added, whoops, got the wrong one. There we go. If you added a Freddie Peralta, look, the Giants are literally 3 moves away from competing in the division for second place, and you never know what could happen. There's injuries to LA. But if you added a Bellinger or a Tucker and you added one of the 4 infielders, Horner, Donovan, or Bichette, Edwards is probably tough to get. But Bichette, two of the guys you can just go get. You can just sign them. You don't even have to worry about a trade. You can just go sign a Bichette and a Tucker. Now, that would cost you, but, I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think they're going to go get one of those guys personally.
They should.
They should.
Put that thing up there, that lineup.
The strikeout lineup or this one?
No, the one at the bottom. Yeah.
Okay.
So here's your lineup. It just gets a little bit. This is the problem they had last year. The end of the order when Bailey wasn't hitting, Bailey, Schmidt, Gilbert, it's a dead zone. And it was whoever they had in right field last year couldn't hit. So that doesn't work. But if you do go out and pay the money and get a bat and get Bellinger, all of a sudden looks a little different. It pushes the order down. Now you've got Bailey and Schmidt at the end, but you've got this heart of the lineup here that all of a sudden is looking pretty formidable. These guys can hit it out of the ballpark. 30, 30, 30, 30. All that's possible, right?
You've got 4 guys that could hit 30. Devers, Bellinger, Adames, and I wouldn't put Bellinger in that category. He's only hit like 29. Right. I'd put the 30 guys
25
Devers,
and
Adames.
25.
You could have Chapman could be 25, Bellinger could be 25, and Ramos could be 25, and then you got 3 guys that could hit 30. So you'd have 6 guys that could hit 25 or more in the lineup.
That's pretty good.
It is pretty good.
I kind of like that. And you have the money for it. You have under the salary cap, you can afford to pay $27 million or whatever it's going to cost.
Yeah, and you can also set it up where you pay so much. Yeah, it's you can give out a bigger bonus, spread it out. Yeah, it's look, this is why we get on this team because hey, Buster just entered.
It also takes the pressure off this guy.
Hey,
If
look.
you have this guy start coming into the season as your 5th hitter, that's telling him, hey, we need you to do something, Bryce.
Yeah,
That's a lot of pressure for a guy that's barely played it at all. So
Buster just came back from Korea. Look, there he is. Buster, hey, look up. Say hello to everybody. Hey, don't hold on here. You gotta show everybody who you are. Huh? Well, come on. Say hello, everybody. There we go. There we go. Yeah, we got wires all over the place. Yeah. Did you come in for a treat? Well, you're gonna have to wait till after the show, buddy. All right. There's Buster, the mascot of NorCal Sports Network. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, you're a good boy.
looks like Buster's doing about as much as the other Buster.
Yeah, Buster's laying around. But you know what Buster's doing? Buster is Buster's actually he's you know what? We got to put more of a camera on Buster. Let's see if we can let's get Buster. We got the trash can. There's inside that little tote is all of Buster's treats. You want to open that tote, Buster, and see what's in there for you, huh? Yeah. Well, Buster's happy in 2026 because he's got an intake in calories. That's right. Buster's now on he's on a wet food from Costco where he lost a lot of weight, and so I had to give him some more calories. He was losing too much weight. He was getting too thin. He was losing some muscle. So now he's on some. He's got a little dry food mixed in.
I wish I had that problem.
Yeah, Yeah, me too. He's got the what do we call that?
Dallas, we're going to need you to increase your caloric intake. If you have any cake or pie, that would be great. If you could increase your beer consumption, that would be wonderful. Just got to get the calories in there.
All right, we got two treats here for Buster here. Okay, we got to put his little Santa hat on or whatever. What is that? An elf hat? What is that?
Elf, yeah.
Elf. Hey, come here, Buster. Come here. Come on. Let's all right. Let's show everybody. Come here. Hey, don't take it off. Don't take it off, Buster. This is look at Buster. He's ready for it's kind of we shouldn't put the elf hat on. It's January 6th, Buster. All right, let's hey, we do have a Giants hat for Buster. Did you guys know that?
Did not. You have a hat? Another hat? Wow.
Buster has his own hat. I don't know if I could find it. Let's see if I can find it.
You don't have all 30 hats for him, do you?
No, Buster just wears a Giants hat.
Okay.
And I don't know.
Hold
on one sec. Take over. Let's see if we can find Buster's hat. I'll step aside for a second.
Dan's going to go search for a dog's hat, and I'm going to put this drum roll on pause because we don't need it. We're not going to be given any treats until he has his special Giants hat on. That's necessary. What do we got here in the chat? Dallas, we still don't have closer. Have you heard of any signing? Chad? No, I haven't. I'm not optimistic about that. I'm more optimistic about Cody Bellinger than I am the Giants signing a closer. I don't think it's going to happen. I think that Tyler Walker, as scary as that sounds, is going to have a chance to come out of spring training. And if he doesn't the bed in spring training, he's going to have a shot at being our closer. And that is, that's frightening, honestly, because he did not have a good year last year. He lost 4 or 5 games that Justin Verlander started just himself, so that's scary. They do have a lot of these scrap heap guys that they've picked up along the way, minor league deals. other signings they have. I can't even remember their names at this point, but they are accumulating a lot of options, and they're hoping to get lucky on a few of them. They also have all of these young starters that they're not going to have room for in the rotation because they got a bunch of $11 million fifth starters. So all the young guys that were going to have a chance to compete for that fifth spot is now Landon Roop's spot, and the other guys are going to have to just fill in the bullpen. So we're going to have plenty of long men, I think, this year, and they'll just be buying their time and waiting for an opportunity in case somebody gets injured. So
got some jerky treats here. This could be good.
Oh, Ryan, did I say Tyler Walker? Oh my gosh, Ryan Walker.
Hey, Tyler.
I would almost prefer Tyler Walker.
Yeah,
that guy could work up a lather like you wouldn't believe. That guy could sweat, man.
All right, we got to watch Buster now. Let's see if the discipline kicks in. All right, here's the treat. Hey, sit, get back, JoJo. Your mama's waiting for you.
Pat in 616 says, "Hard to believe Lou left this show."
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's too much. Yeah, how can you leave a show like this with all this entertainment? All right. By the way,
Ryan Walker, yeah.
All right, here we go. This is what you do in the off season when you don't have really anything to talk about. Sit, Buster. All right, here we go. We're gonna throw it on the floor. Leave it. All right, we'll kick it over to him a little bit more. Leave it. Look at the discipline this guy has. This is what the Giants need, more plate discipline. All right, I should say instead of this is what the Giants need, some plate discipline. Look at that guy. He refuses. Okay, look at your third base coach. Okay, I'm going to give him the signs. All right, swing. There he goes. Look at that. I told him to take, and he waited until I told him to put the swing sign on. Okay, leave it. Look at that. All right, this is what the Giants need. I think this was what Tony Vitello is going to implement the first day of spring training. I think we're going to bring Buster down over to Scottsdale. We're only 45 minutes away. We'll bring Buster in, and okay, look at the third base coach. Okay, get your sign. Okay, that means you're ready. Are you ready? Okay, I want you to go ahead and swing. Go ahead, swing. There we go. All right. See, this is what the Giants are gonna have to start doing here is getting their players to have more plate discipline. Buster has it. This Buster the dog. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Because that thing looked fat right down the middle, and he did not even go for it. He just waited for his pitch.
Yeah, he waited for his pitch. Yep. He's very yeah. Now we'll do one last one. This is Buster. You got to sit down now. Now we're gonna try the suicide squeeze here. All right, we're gonna see if he gets the sign here. All right, let's see if he can do this. All right, Buster.
See you, Insane.
All right,
take it easy, man.
Sit. Lay down. All right, here we go. I'm gonna put it right on. Leave it.
G. Sizemore says Sean Jelly's going to be on his way to the KBO. You're probably right. He's got some baggage to deal with, and the Giants aren't going to have a problem with filling out those long spots in the bullpen with McDonald and Wisenhunt. Even you could put him in there if you're not going to trade him.
Look at Buster's working the count here. Look at this. He's leave it. That is tough to do, guys. That is like having bases loaded and you've got a pitcher you're hitting 700 off lifetime and he's grooving you a fastball down the middle and your coach is saying, not yet, not yet. How long should we make him drool?
I think he's had enough.
Let's get in there.
Let
Hey,
him
wait,
go.
leave it. All right. They gave you the sign. Go ahead and swing away. Swing. Take it. There he goes. Look at that. All right. That should be worth a super chat from somebody right there. Look at that. Buster working the crowd. Okay.
George, I honestly think that Birdsong, he might have some value right now, but if they can get him right, at least allow him to fix what is wrong with them and prove that he's is a prospect still, at least has some potential, because right now I just don't think you'll get much for Birdsong. Too much of a question mark.
Yeah. Well, listen to what Senior says here. We've got a super chat from Down Under. Thank you, JB. Spend on free agency now, because let's assume baseball is played in 2027, even if it isn't. The 26-27 free agent class is really weak, minus Skubal and Peralta. Yeah. And those guys, unless they sign in November, Skubal, Peralta, and those top guys, they may be waiting to see what they get. There could become a salary cap. I'm hearing that some owners really want that. And I think you need like 23, 24 votes or something like that to get it to pass. I'm not sure what the exact number is, but they could be holding out for these owners are wealthy. Their money's not coming so much from the season itself. It comes from the valuation of the team. Like the Giants, I don't know how much operating money they have. They bought the club for $100 million. It's worth $4 billion with a B. How many times over is that? 100 doubles to 200 million, 200 to 400, 400 to 800, 800 to 1.6 billion, 1.6 billion to 3.2 billion. How many times did that double? See,
a lot.
Yeah. This team, it's gone up exponentially, or whatever the word is. They are worth more. But will it continue when they sell the team.
Is it, how much? What's the ceiling here? Does it just keep going up and up? Is there a ceiling for what you can continue to make, or do you eventually hit a particular cap, and in order to make more, you got to pay the players less? You institute a cap, and you're not going to institute a cap on ticket sales,
right?
On ticket prices, so those are going to stay at market value, and then, but if they can get the players to somehow agree, because they want to force it through a lockout. There was a lot of talk on that podcast today about that. The ownership doesn't have to pay the players' salaries on the big leagues during a lockout. So they lose that money, and they don't have to pay that money, but they do have to pay all their staff, all their scouts, all the minor leaguers, all the minor league staff, all the other expenses for the organization. They have to continue to pay, even though they're not making any real money on ticket sales during that lockout. So, but the fact you don't have to pay the players makes me think that, the owners still will control, they have the deeper pockets. They can sit out while a player who's 30 and doesn't have that many more viable years left is going to lose a whole year. He's going to lose.
Think if you're 34, 35, might be your last year in baseball. I mean, you could get Brandon Belt right? I mean, Belt had his last year was a pretty decent year in Toronto. And I think he had an OPS of near around 800, and he didn't get a contract the following year. I think that was the 23 season. Belt had his last year in Toronto.
Yeah. They did the same thing with Barry Bonds.
Yeah. I think Bonds could go out there and lead the Giants. I think if he was a DH, I think he could probably hit 20 to 25 homers. Still.
I still don't understand why he didn't go to Anaheim and play there for, a few more years.
Well, I think
he was wherever.
I think he was blacklisted, right?
Yeah, he was blackballed.
Blackballed, yeah. Senior here says the Giants, he thinks they've changed course. And he says to me privately, some of the signs are that the Giants traded Duvall and Rogers, accumulated young talent, hired Tony Vitello, an inexperienced but good manager whose track record is working and developing young guys. And number 3, they have not committed any long-term money on players this offseason. So is it possible that Greg Johnson, Buster's asked for some higher price guys, and he said, no, not until I see some winning put forth? We've spent on Chapman $25 million, Adames $25 plus million, and Devers like $28 million a year. They owe him for 8 more seasons. They also owe Webb for a couple more seasons. They also owe Jung-Hoo Lee possibly for 4 more seasons. Is it possible that they've said we're going to put a cap on the spending until you start producing on the field with the guys that you asked for? And if you produce and we come up on the trade deadline and the team is competitive, we will add. But we're not going to add guys when I've given you Buster. He's given Buster at least 3 guys that he's wanted in Chapman, Adames, and Devers. That's 3. That's 1/3 of your batting order. 1/3. And yeah, there's holes in it and they need to spend more. But why is this team refusing to spend? Maybe they still will. Maybe they
might still will because no one has spent. Right. 6 of the 10 top free agents are still available.
Right.
So the Yankees haven't picked him up. The Mets haven't picked him up. The Dodgers haven't signed anybody again. The Padres, and I mean, a lot of people, there's a lot of teams, the Cubs, there's a lot of big guys out there and they haven't, and maybe this is them banding together and kind of playing hardball against some of these big contracts.
Yeah. I have, you've heard this before on NorCal Sports Network. You're hearing nobody talk about it anywhere else but right here, because that's what we do. We leave the conversation and then it becomes mainstream after a few months. So I'm telling you right here, guys, the Giants, if they are not competitive in the race at the trade deadline in 2026, expect a minimum of 1 of these 4 players to be traded. And I know they've got no trade clauses. Matt Chapman, Willie Adames, Rafael Devers, or Logan Webb. I think if they're going nowhere and the playoffs are not in the forecast at the trade deadline come 2026, you got to make one of those moves. You've got to say, we've got to change direction. We cannot keep going. Look, the first guy I would probably try to trade that would bring me the most value is Logan Webb. Why do I say that? Because he still has 2 years remaining after this season, 2.5 years. You could get something for Logan Webb. The longer you wait toward the end of his contract, you're not going to get much. And the Giants, listen, guys, if this is what they're doing right now, if they're not adding, they're not winning anything next year. Okay? They're just not ready to win. They've got to decide which lane they're going to pick. Are they going to pick the World Series or bust lane, like the Dodgers, the Blue Jays, Mets, Yankees, Braves, Phillies? They're going to rebuild like the Pirates, the White Sox, the A's. The A's are starting to move. They're getting ready to move off of that rebuild lane and head into that middle lane this year, and they may sneak into the playoffs. But the Giants,
I don't really believe that.
Well,
I'll believe it when I see it for the A's.
I mean,
but they could go that route. But why don't they just sign another bat and get in the playoffs? And then if you're good, you sign another bat. You sign these two mediocre pitchers that have potential. Then you're in the hunt at least. And if you're competitive at the trade deadline, then you go out and you add another starter. You know, you can bring somebody in you're only paying half their contract at that point, and now you're cooking, you know?
Why don't they do it? I don't know, Dallas. I mean, this is the question that every Giants fan is asking.
Why commit $224 or $270 million or whatever it is to Devers and then not put a competitive product on the field? Why would they do that?
All right, that's a great point. I have no idea. It makes no sense. They have an opportunity to completely go out and add another bat, another frontline pitcher, and actually compete for a possible World Series championship. You can't tell me that if you added a Tucker or a Bellinger and you added like a Freddie Peralta, that this team wouldn't be a likely playoff team. So.
Because they're at 500 right now, right?
But
we all agree they're going to be right around there. Add another 10 wins, and you're in the playoffs.
Absolutely. Now, George says he disagrees. They will trade Ray, Molly if we are out of it. No owners are paying any of the long-term salaries. Anyone could have traded for Devers and did not. Okay, George, let me give you a caveat because I believe the Giants would have to pay salary down for any of those guys, not named Webb. If they were to trade Chapman or Adames, if they would agree to a trade. And I think those guys, if they saw that the Giants were actually doing a rebuild and were wanting to go young, I think, look, Chapman would be, I bet you if you offered him, if the Dodgers were to take him, he would be like, yeah, I'll go home. He's from El Toro, Orange County. He would probably go there. I don't know if he'd want to go to the Angels, even though that's home, but that's closest to where he grew up. But you also could be looking at, if he goes to a competitor. But look, if the Giants were to pay, what's the difference if the Giants paid for the next 5 years, paid down 10, 12 million of Chapman and Adames's contracts, and let's say they kept Devers and built around Devers, and they just said, you know what, in 29 and 30, that's where we're shooting from. Joshar Gonzalez can be our shortstop. We're going to move to third base. We're going to move Jesus Hernandez, who's about to be signed from the international class here next week, the 15th. He's could move to third. And what's to say you don't have an infield of Bryce Eldridge at first base, Gavin Killeen at second, Gonzalez at short, and Hernandez at third, a entirely homegrown infield. And then you start working on, with trades, you pick up some guys that can become outfielders and pitchers. And in 2029, 2030, and hear me out. So you're paying some salaries for Chapman and you're paying salary for Devers, you've got a bunch of guys that are making league minimums.
Sure,
Your
you can do that,
payroll's under
but
100
that's
million.
2030. That's 4 years away.
2029. I'm saying, look, if you don't go anywhere in 26, you're just talking 27 and 28 of rebuilding and having a rough time. But by 29, you're starting to create something that's good for 8 to 10 years.
But can't you do that anyway?
If they want to spend the money, but they don't seem to want to spend the money. They could be competitive right now.
I know.
But why aren't they doing it? I mean,
I'm assuming they're going to.
It's not
They
rocket
got to.
science.
They're pot committed at this point. They've chosen a lane.
So
Let's go for it.
But let's say they don't get the guys they want to get. You got 29 other teams you're competing with. Let's say realistically you're competing with 5 to 8 more teams. Who's going to choose the Giants over the Dodgers, Yankees, Mets, Braves, Phillies?
They're not. No one's willing to pay. If anyone was willing to pony up, those guys would be signed already. So you're already,
okay.
You're going to have to beat those guys out, but you're not going to have to pay as much as you thought going into this year.
All right,
$300 million.
Let's play devil's advocate here. Mm-hmm. Advocate. There we go. Devil's advocate. All right, I'll be Cody Bellinger.
Yeah.
And I've got an offer. My value's dropping because no one's paying. We got some collusion going on here. My value, which I was hoping to get, 25 plus million, I'm down, and I was looking for 6-7 year deal. I heard he was looking for 300 or 400 million, which was ridiculous by Boris. But let's say nobody's offering him more than even 100 million for a multi-year deal. Okay, I've got the Giants are willing to give me 3 years at $28 million a year.
Mm-hmm. Do it.
But I got the Giants are willing to give me 3 years, but the Dodgers will give me 3 years at $25 million a year. The Yankees are going to give me the same. Why am I going to choose the Giants?
Because you're getting an extra $9 million. You want how much more?
And I'm going to play in a ballpark that is going to.
Cody, you hit it. You're going to be fine there. It's not like it's going to be balls dying at the warning track for you. Just hit it off the wall. Hit it into the big open gap out there.
Okay, yeah. Where fly balls go to die for outs.
Yeah.
So, see, that's the problem. The Giants could have a plan. Oh, we're going to go get Tucker, or we're going to go get Bellinger. But why would Tucker or Bellinger choose the Giants?
Because you're paying $3 million more a year.
Who cares? I want to win.
They care.
I want to win. I want to win.
Look at the lineup. We got a lineup that with you in it, it's pretty competitive.
Yeah, but it's not guaranteed. Like if I go to the Yankees, I'm in the playoffs. If I go to the Dodgers, I'm likely in the World Series. I can go with the Mets. I'm probably going to be the playoffs. Why do I want to sign with the Giants? And how do I know that the offer really? I mean, the offer.
Right, well, how about this? Now I don't like to do this because I'm Buster Posey and I hate opt-outs. But we'll give you $30 million, and we'll give you an opt-out after the first year.
How about an opt-out after the first 3 months? No, I'm kidding. I think that's one of the Giants' things they need to open up to.
Because for a guy like that, if he has a bad year, then you're stuck with him in that. But he's not going to have too bad. A proven commodity, you can go that route. I think. Like he might have a slow year, but he's not going to have 3 slow years.
Yeah,
I just don't see that happening. So,
hey, what's with the media? I I like George's idea here. Trade for Peralta or Cabrera. Trade Ray and eat $5 million, save 20. We still have 55 to 60 under the CBT. Sign Valdez, Bichette, or Tucker. There's a lot of things the Giants can do, George. We could sit here and talk till we're blue in the face, and I think the Giants are going to do whatever Greg Johnson allows them to do. If Greg Johnson says, go over the CPT, get the guys I want to win, I think Buster will be on it. He's not going to do that.
He doesn't care about winning. He doesn't care about winning.
So this is
he
why
cares about making money. But the argument should be, hey, we made an increase in fans. We sold however many million more tickets last year.
Yeah, at $5 a piece, $7 a piece, a bunch at 501 prices and $7.
So I mean, we don't see the books or anything like that, but they have momentum. If they can win, get in the playoffs, you're gonna all of a sudden create a bunch more buzz, and people are gonna start coming to the ballpark, and you're gonna be selling more beers and selling more Jung Hoo Lee jerseys and City Connect purple jerseys.
Wait, Jung, did you say
Hope?
Yeah, Jung Hope Lee. No longer Jung Hoo Lee, everybody. We are hoping that Jung Lee has some hope in him. We're just going to call. How about if he was just called Jung Lee? Jung Lee, or is who his middle name or part of his first name? I don't know.
I hope he's playing a corner next year.
Okay, Jung Hope Lee, we want you to play right field. Giants don't have the balls to do it. Exactly, the Johnsons are not competitive and don't want to win. Absolutely. I don't even know. It's amazing we have people.
It's not about winning. He doesn't want to win. He wants to make money. And that's fine. A lot of owners are like that. A lot of owners want to make money. But it's in his interest. To make money, you need to put a competitive product on the field. To sell tickets, get butts in the seats, enthusiasm, get things going in the right direction, get into the playoffs. It spirals from there. He was alive back then. He saw it happen. He knows. So why penny pinch and save $25 million right now because you don't want to add that piece that can put him over the edge?
Let's look at this from another angle. A couple of years ago, the Giants in the offseason supposedly were willing to spend $700 million on Ohtani. And then also go after Yamamoto at the same time. They were looking to spend close to $1 billion that offseason. They didn't do it. They got rebuffed or whatever. They didn't get the yay. We didn't get the go ahead. So
kind of true.
So the Giants, instead, if they were willing to spend that money, why aren't they spending money now? Or were they really just trying to get Ohtani just to have a star to attract for the gate and not really try and win? See,
well, I think that's part of it. I think Ohtani pays for himself.
Yes.
Ohtani gets butts in the seats, but also a whole country is watching every Dodgers game, and you have all those TV rights and all the jerseys you're selling to Japan, and it's a huge market. And so yes, Ohtani's expensive, but I'm sure they've crunched the numbers. I don't think they're losing money on the deal.
Okay, so here's the deal: the Giants are really foolish, in my opinion, by not trying to get guys, because it sends a message to other free agents that the Giants are not serious about winning. And why do I want to go to an organization? Why do you think Toronto's getting all these guys? They just got the guy from Japan, Akamoto, or however you say it, the third baseman. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's a hedge against not getting Bo Bichette. I'm assuming that's what it is, and they'll move Clement over to second or something, or whatever they're going to do. I'm not sure. But they're signing guys because they've committed to winning, and players see that. The Dodgers, people go there. The Braves, the Phillies, people see a team that's willing to put money out to win. So I don't know what the Giants are doing. Aaron says Johnson and most owners are risk adverse. He'll spend just enough to remain competitive through September, and with the third wild card, you have a shot. Yep, this is why I did the video yesterday, and I've done other videos on the Giants about ownership. George Curry says, I don't believe the Giants were ever going to spend on Yamamoto or Ohtani. That was BS to tell the fans. I agree. I don't think they ever were committed to that. That was just a line. Absolutely. NorCal Sports.
Great idea too. If there's a player you have that you're never going to get, why not offer him the same amount as the Dodgers and get your hat in the ring, even though you know it's not legitimate. You're going to come out looking like, oh, we almost got him. Oh, sorry, fans, so close.
I did not see this story about the A's. No.
Yeah, I saw it. So the A's applied for the trademark in Nevada for the Las Vegas Athletics and the Vegas Athletics. And the trademark office denied it because the term athletics is too broad of a term. Athletics could be a summer league in Las Vegas that has a bunch of adult sports or whatever.
Okay, so, who turned it down? The U.S. or some rogue judge?
The trademark office.
Okay, yeah, they are the Athletics. They go back to the Philadelphia Athletics, the Kansas City Athletics, the Oakland Athletics. They are the Athletics. What are we talking about?
Well, because they're not an established organization in Nevada right now, it's too generic. Once they move to Nevada and they have an established presence there and that's their business address and all that, then they'll be able to reapply and they'll get it through, or they might have to lawyer up and pay $1 million to get them to fight it out in court, but they will get it. It's kind of a bogus story that that people come out with to kind of put egg on the face of the A's ownership, which happens quite a bit. You see stories like that, but it will happen. It's not like the A's are going to have to change their name or anything like that. It's just red tape they're going to have to circumvent.
All right. Switching it up, Rod Dunham says Giants get the 4th pick in this year's draft. A mock draft could be UCLA shortstop Roke Chakowski, who I love, by the way, and Duke, Virginia outfielder AJ Garcia. I think it's supposed to be Gracia. I'm not sure. Being early possibilities. Thoughts? You know what, Rod? We're going to get into that as we get closer to the draft. I mean, we're, right before we're talking in July. There's still a baseball season to be played with these guys in college. A lot of these guys will do really good and solidify their draft slots. Others will have off years and they will fall. So let's just wait and see on it. But, and it all comes down to, slots and everything. If the teams that have the first or second pick don't want to pay what they think it's going to cost them to pay, they could go under slot value, and maybe the Giants, maybe a Chakowski falls to the Giants. We'll see. It'll be fun and a great topic to talk about next year as we get closer. The recovery, when I see that, I want to say McCovey, something with McCovey. I feel like Bailey was almost an automatic out last year. What do you guys see with Bailey's swing that can get his average up? Needs to make contact. Maybe go the opposite way. Maybe look to when you're hitting right-handed, maybe give up right-handed hitting because you don't have much power right-handed. I mean, I'll tell you the infield, the positioning I'm playing little league outfield when Patrick Bailey comes up batting right-handed. I'm like, I'm gonna make sure that bloop doesn't fall in between me and the infielders. The guy has, and if he hits it over my head, more power to him. But the guy has zero pop from the right side. I would just do the, Johnny, the right fielder's coming up. The kid that got put in for the 6th inning. It's got to get his mandatory innings in. He's got to get his mandatory innings in for the season. So Johnny's up to the plate. Everybody move in. When Bailey's hitting right-handed. Jeez, I might even go with 7 infielders when Patrick Bailey's playing right-handed. Forget the outfield. Let's see what else we got in here. Is Dallas frozen?
No, I'm sorry. Looking at some stats on Bailey.
I thought I heard quietness and I saw a still, but he can talk, people. Yes, he can talk. All right, we're almost out.
I was looking at Bailey's splits because the first half of 2024, he hit 283 in the first half, but then last year he hit 203 in the first half,
and then he hit better in the second half.
And then the second half, if I look at the second half in 2024,
24 was horrible second half. Horrible.
Yeah, he hit 170, and then the second half this last year he hit 246, a little better. So
what are his right-handed
player?
What's his right-handed, left-handed splits?
So I got that.
What's he got? Like 1 home run right-handed?
No, his power numbers are actually better per at bat as a right-handed hitter.
You're kidding me.
No. Less home runs, but he's not hitting right-handed as much.
I like Bailey though. He's a good guy. I just, I think he can hit left-handed if he just takes a different approach and stops, especially with 2 strikes. Just, we saw him opening day against Cincinnati come up with the big hit. He seems to be able to put the ball in play when he's just trying to hit it. But when he's trying to swing for, more, to drive the ball, that's when he strikes out a lot more.
Yeah, left-handed 227, right-handed 212. And then just last year he only had 6 home runs, so 5 from the left side and 1 from the right.
Yeah, I didn't think he had much right-handed. Yeah,
but 2024, 8 home runs and 0 from the right.
Yeah, see? He doesn't hit.
Yeah,
he
you're
doesn't
right.
hit from the right. He doesn't hit from the right. I would, if I'm going to hit from the right side, it's like I'm situational. If I've just got to try and, knock it into just got to get the ball somewhere on the ground, put it in play, runner on third, less than 2 out, whatever, infield's back. Maybe I'll bat right-handed, but forget it. Otherwise, I'm batting left-handed. Senior says, so you guys really think the Giants are in win mode now after signing 2 mediocre pitchers when that was clearly their biggest need? They aren't going to sign Tucker, Bichette, or any other top player, he says. I don't think they are either, Senior. I wish this club would just come out and say it. They're clearly, in my estimation, without a doubt, driving right smack down that middle lane right there. Giants.
You can't come out and say we're not going for it. That would never happen.
Why can't they just say, you know what?
Because it would look foolish. Why'd they spend $100 million on these players if they're not going to try to win with them?
Well, they can't. The only way to do it is to see what they do with these guys and start selling off these guys.
Right. But they just signed them Devers less than a year ago, 8 months ago.
It doesn't make any sense.
To turn around and try and move him now then would make no sense.
It doesn't make any sense what they're doing.
Completely foolish.
It doesn't make any sense why they're not spending. or trading.
I mean,
or doing something.
I understand they want to stay under the CBT. I understand that. They don't want to pay money for a tax that they don't need to. So the only reason why not paying for pitching is twofold. One, starting pitching, high dollar starting pitching is a big risk. If they get hurt, they're gone for a year and a half and you're screwed. It's 2 years if they need Tommy John, right? So pitching is a risk. They don't want the risk, so they spend less for pitchers, 1 year deals, 2 year deal, and they can get by on that. If they're doing that, fine. If they're going to go sign another player, another big bat, make that lineup deeper, then I'm okay with it. I can tolerate the pitching as it is right now if they sign somebody else. And I don't even want them to go over the CBT. If they don't want to, fine.
Yeah, if you look at that list there, Bellinger fits the list of the owner said he wants to break even. Why can't he say we're looking to 2027? He could. Bellinger.
They could sign a guy and trade for a guy, and then they would have a great lineup. A pretty good lineup.
What happens if they remade their outfield and traded for? I don't think they have enough assets to trade for guys like Quan, though. It's tough. They don't have the cupboard's not full right now. It's rather bare, and they're not trading Bryce Eldridge. By the way, I love Grant Brisbee. Okay, I read Grant Brisbee's article in The Athletic today about the Giants and their need to go out and get more pitching, and he just felt like they got to go out and get more pitching. But he talked about Freddie Peralta, and he said, would the Giants consider giving up Bryce Eldridge? Grant, you don't have to give up like the top 20th guy in the top 20 prospects of all of baseball who's a 40-plus home run potential kid for a rental. What are you thinking? Why
there
would
should
you
be none of that?
Even suggest
you cannot trade Eldridge for a rental, no matter who it is.
Yeah, why would you even
Tarek Skubal?
say that?
No, you don't do it. It's 1 year.
I don't even understand the mindset of some of the media members that think that the Giants, if they want to get a known, established player, they got to trade Eldridge. You don't. Senior says they can't come out and say they're going to rebuild. That would lose any leverage value with their core players. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to stick with my prediction that the Giants will do one of two things at the trade deadline next year in the 26th season. They're going to either go get players in a trade to make them better if they're truly competing for a wild card spot. And two, if it's like last year when they sold off of Duvall and Rogers, I'm telling you, I think it's one of four guys that are going to get moved. Ray's going to get moved no matter what. Ray's getting moved if they're not in it, and so is Molly. And maybe even Hauser. But if the Giants are going to come back for the 27 season after failing again to make the playoffs in an era when 40% of the teams make the playoffs, and look behind me at these hats, guys. For some reason, Arizona won't stick on the wall.
Yeah, well, anyone on a 1 year deal, you should certainly move if you're not in contention.
All right. Let's look at these hats right here. Hold on. Stay. All right. So we got the hats right up there. Let's get to the National League. Watch that Arizona. Wait, there. It's probably going to fall. Okay. We know the top three teams up there, Dodgers, Brewers, Phillies, are competing. Same with the Mets, Cubs, and Padres, Marlin and the Braves over here. But you can rule out the bottom three. There's 6 teams that make it, right? In the 6 teams. So you're competing. Forget the I want to say the Redskins, but the what are they called? The Nationals, Pirates, and the
Rockies
Rockies. Forget there's 3 teams gone. St.
and the
Louis, forget
Marlins.
that. And the Marlins. There's 5 teams that are gone. Now you're down to 10 teams. So you're playing 4 spots. And you got basically you're competing with the Reds, the Diamondbacks, the Padres, Cubs, Brewers, Mets, Phillies, and Braves. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're competing with 8 teams for 3 spots. So what I'm getting at is this team cannot continue to keep rolling out these veterans that are making $25 million and not making the playoffs.
It's just wasting money. It's never been easier to make the playoffs because you got the 3 spots, 3 wild cards. So there's really no excuse for missing out on the playoffs 9 out of 10 years.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
Hey guys, want to share something with you real quickly here. We've got a new sponsor on the show, and it's PrizePicks. PrizePicks is a sponsor of NorCal Sports Network. You see that promo code down there in the bottom left-hand screen. It's NCSN. Sign up for PrizePicks right here. The link is in the description of this video or this live stream. Use that promo code NCSN. PrizePicks is a daily fantasy app where you build lineups by choosing whether players will have more or less than a projected stat total. Right now, new users can get $50 in lineups when they play their first $5 lineup, win or lose. PrizePicks is available in 45 states, including California and Texas. Download the PrizePicks app today. Build your lineup and follow along while watching the games, or go to the link. Click on the link. It's already got NCSN in there. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Use that promo code NCSN. A lot of fun, guys. PrizePicks, and you just pick like a minimum of 3 players. You pick whether they're going to have more or less. You got the NFL playoffs going on coming up this weekend. You got the Niners against the Eagles. You got 6 games this weekend. You can have fun, pick the games, pick the players, and it's pretty simple. You just say, for example, and this isn't the number, but it'd be like, is Christian McCaffrey going to have more or less than, 81 yards rushing or something like that? And I don't know what it's going to be, but if you think it's going to be more, you pick more, you get 3 of them right, you win. And you get $50 just for using the promo code NCSN, guys. Go sign up right now when we finish this live stream. Go sign up for PrizePicks. It's that easy. All right. And we also want to thank our sponsor, longtime sponsor, Chapman Law Group. Chapman Law Group, located in Marin, licensed in all of California. Make sure you give Chapman Law Group a call at 415-613-9483 for all your legal needs. Chapman Law Group. Let them know NorCal Sports Network sent you. All right. I'm losing my voice. I've had that yucky cough that seems to be going around. I don't know. Is it hitting Northern California too?
It has been. We've avoided it here in this house, but I have been hearing a lot of that.
Man. Yeah. See, I think, let's see. I just don't know what the Giants real plan is. They basically leaked nearly all the new coaches, but still haven't put a bow on it. Spring training is less than 40 days. Have they not? They haven't finished their first base and third base coach yet? That I've
They
heard
haven't
of?
announced it. I'm sure they probably know, but they've been busy with the holidays and going to Korea and who knows what else. So they haven't announced it yet. A lot of reporters are unhappy about that. I hear a lot of complaining and moaning about not having it the announcement. But
Yeah.
so I don't know. I'm
tell you
sure
the-
they have. They know who it is.
The Giants just need to listen to me. They just really do. They just need to listen to me. I could put this team together. I've done marketing and sales for years and years, and I tell you, if the Giants would just pick a lane and go for it, they could be very successful. In fact, if I'm taking over the club, I'm going after guys like Kyle Schwarber when he was a free agent earlier before he re-signed with the Phillies. I'm going after Kyle Tucker, Cody Bellinger. You know what I'm doing? I'm saying, here's part of our plan. Here's the field. I'm taking this area right here. Of course, I'd have it designed for them and show them, but I wouldn't show them this and say, hey, we're going to put a line here. I'd actually have it done, and I would take that bullpen fence right there where the gates open up, and I just draw a straight line over to this corner right there, and where it jets out there. And let me see if I can make it bigger. No,
We need to get you the John Madden teleprompter. We can't see your
I'm
cursor.
working on it. I had it somewhere, and I can't seem to locate what I did with it. I don't know what I did with it. I had a little deal, and I had the line. But anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm bringing in the fences, and I'm going out, and I'm getting guys, because until those fences come in, they're never getting a true stud in his prime that's going to come here via free agency. You're going to have to trade for him like you did with Devers. That's it. They don't have a shot. And I'm getting these guys, and I'm marketing this thing, and I'm telling all these players, look, come to San Francisco where you don't wear out in July and August because it's nice to play in. The temperatures are cooler. And the other thing I'm doing, I'm only playing night games on Monday nights when we come home from a road trip and we got a game on Monday, and I'm playing Friday night games. The rest, Tuesday, if I got an off day on Monday night, if I got an off day Monday and I'm coming home, I'll play a night game on Tuesday. Day games Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. Night games twice a week at the most, either Monday or Tuesday, Friday night. I'm doing a bunch of day games, and the weather's beautiful to play in the daytime. And look, and I'm selling this, Dallas, as you're a young man with a young family. You're home, and guess what? You don't get to be with your kids, because your kids, by the time you get home from the ballpark, they're asleep. We're going to play day games so you can go home and you can be with your family. How would that sell to baseball players? I think
maybe during the summertime. Maybe during the summer when the kids are out of school, you could sell that. When it's school time months, probably you wouldn't have enough. You wouldn't be able to fill the ballpark. And then,
you don't
of course,
fill it. You don't fill it on Tuesday and Wednesday nights or Monday either, Dallas.
I know, but then there's the TV audience. You have to. No one's watching it in the daytime. Everyone's at work, so it's a tough sell financially because of TV, and
I guess you're right with TV
potential tickets, but I don't know. It seems like the Giants play better in the daytime.
Yeah. I'm losing my voice. It's time to get out of here.
Well, now that we've solved all the Giants' problems, we don't really have much else to discuss.
Yeah. My wife's got the same thing I got. I got to get well. Next Wednesday, 8 days, I go under the knife, man.
Yeah. Plus, you have to be ready for spring training. It's only a month and
Yeah,
change away.
I was supposed to have this hip surgery in December, but some things pushed it back.
Pitchers and catchers and YouTubers report.
Yeah. Plenty of water. Mike Val, I got it right here, Mike. 30 ounces. I try and get 3 of these down a day.
Flush that out. Flush it out of the system.
Sharks win again. 5-2. Well, guys, we'll come back.
Somebody's winning.
I think we'll come back Thursday night, maybe. We'll try and do a shorter one.
Yeah, or if they sign Bellinger, we'll be right on.
Mm-hmm.
Just come to YouTube and log it.
Dom Peralta, go Sharks. There we go. All right. Hello, Dom. Cooper Flag down. Uh-oh, knee injury. Cooper Flag. Uh-oh. The young budding superstar of the Dallas Mavericks. Uh-oh. Thanks. Appreciate that. Is it Jane or Janet? Let's see. Janet. Janet K. Thank you, Janet K. I got to get well. I got to be strong for my my surgery. Yeah. So, let's see what else we got. All right. Well, thanks to my moderators out there, Robert and Mark Graves. Mark says day games. Yeah. I like day games. Robert's got the same stuff, head cold. Yeah, it's just brutal. I've had it for a week and a half. It just won't go away. I know it's running through California because my brother, who's right there in the Bay Area, he said he had it for 3 weeks.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah. Hey, the Cubbies play. How many day games do the Cubbies play? I know TV's changed. They used to play all the time day games, but now they still play
a lot more than anybody else.
Yeah, works for them.
They used to not even have lights.
Yeah, works for them. Why not the Giants? Man, I'd go to Hey, I'm serious. If I had a young family, and I know a lot of these players do, I think they would love to be home you start your game at 1:00 and it ends at 3:30, 3:45, get your shower, get out, leave the ballpark probably by 5:30.
Mm-hmm.
Get your own private helicopter so you don't have to sit in traffic. But, if you can get home by 6:30, if you're lucky, 6:30, maybe you can get out of there by 5, race out of there, get home. Get home by 6:30.
Once I get that helicopter, I'm on board. I'll be there every week. Get home
at 6:30, and then you. Senior says I might have the flu. I don't have a fever, although my wife started a fever tonight. Maybe I do. I don't know. Maybe it's turning into a flu. I don't know. Hope not. But kind of sucks. But anyway, we'll see. Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, get home at 6:30. You get to bed about 10:30. Wake up at 6:30. Get your 8 hours. Maybe 11 to 7. Get your 8 hours in. Get ready. Go to the ballpark and get to the ballpark by 9:30, 10 for a 1:00 game. Man, it's like a day job.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I don't know. I think I think you could sell players on it. personally. That's just my thought. I think you could sell players on the idea that, hey, look, we're a family organization. We like to give as much time for you to be home with your children. You get to play in beautiful daytime weather. Candlestick's nice in the day. I mean, Candlestick Oracle's nice in the day.
I don't think the players would have a problem with it. It's just the money thing.
Yeah.
TV thing. But
that's how I would market the Giants. I would rearrange Giants. I'd change the dimensions. I'd attract stars, and I'd tell them, look, you get to be home during the daytime or the nighttime. You play day baseball. Players love to play day baseball. They grew up playing day baseball, a lot of them. It's easier to get loose in the daytime too, especially in San Francisco. Less cold, less wind, and you don't get those hamstrings and all that. I don't know.
This is San Francisco. They should have work from home days.
There we go. Yeah, swing the bat at home. All right, let's get out of here. We're demented. We've lost it here, and I need the music. Yeah, I'm getting a headache here too. So, where's my music? Here it is. There we go. It's copyrighted. It's from the YouTube store, music store.
You talked too early, Dan. We couldn't hear you.
I said, thanks, Mike. I said, don't flag me for this music, YouTube. They flag me all the time to say this is copyrighted. Well, it's from their YouTube music store.
Yeah, and don't flag me for this sound effect I'm going to play, because that's an impersonation.
There we go. Well, what else we got here?
Senior, everybody's got their takes. Nobody knows. No one knows anything. So we just have to wait and see what's going to happen.
Thanks, Rod. Appreciate it. All right. Mike could sing a cappella. We could do that. Just record it. There we go. Thanks, Senior. Make sure you guys out there, go ahead and hit that like button. The more people that hit the like button, just like it. Hit the like button. It'll get more views. That's the way YouTube works. So we appreciate all those likes. And hey, don't forget, guys, biggest signing of the year right there, baby. Daniel Susak to the Giants. There we go. Giants are on a roll, baby. And hey, don't forget, we got a new player. We have more hope now. We've got Jung Hope Lee. He's no longer Jung Hoo Lee. He's Jung Hope Lee for the Giants. Take care, everybody. Good